I never believed in ghosts. As the new keeper of the Whitmore Point Lighthouse, my duties were straightforward: maintain the light, keep logs, and ensure no ships met their doom against the rocky shore. I dismissed the local tales as coastal superstitions, but the night I learned the truth was the night that changed everything. The first few months passed without incident. My routine was monotonous, filled with cleaning, repairs, and nightly checks. The lighthouse stood stoic against the relentless sea, its light a beacon piercing through the thickest fogs and darkest nights. Then, it started with the whispers. One stormy night, as wind howled like the cries of the damned, I heard it. Faint whispers in the dark. At first, I thought the wind was playing tricks on me. I shook my head and climbed the spiral staircase to the beacon, telling myself it was just the storm. The whispers grew louder over the coming weeks. They seemed to seep out of the very walls of the lighthouse, murmurs that clawed at the edges of my mind. I couldn't understand what they were saying, but their tone was unmistakable: desperation and warning. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the world into shades of deep blue and gray, the true horror revealed itself. I was in the lantern room, polishing the brass fittings when the temperature dropped sharply. My breath turned to mist, and the glass around the beacon frosted over. The whispers crescendoed into a cacophony of urgent voices. I spun around, heart pounding in my chest, and that's when I saw him. A figure, drenched from head to toe, stood at the top of the staircase. His skin was pale, almost translucent, and his eyes were dark hollows. Water pooled at his feet, and his mouth moved rapidly as if trying to communicate some urgent plea. Paralyzed with fear, I watched as he extended a hand towards me, and in a moment of sheer terror, I stumbled backwards, nearly falling over the railing. The figure advanced, and the whispers became clearer, turning into intelligible words. Leave, the storm, danger. As quickly as he appeared, the figure vanished, leaving me alone with the roaring silence of the beacon. My heart raced and my mind reeled. Was I losing my grip on reality? Was this the isolation driving me mad? The next day, under a clear blue sky, I ventured into town seeking answers. At the local pub, I relayed my encounter to an old fisherman named Ely, who listened intently, his face growing solemn. "You saw him then. That's old Keeper Tom," Eli said, his voice a low murmur. "Drowned just off the rocks below the lighthouse during a great storm 50 years back. They say he tries to warn new keepers whenever a deadly storm's coming." His words sent a shiver down my spine. Was I meant to heed this warning? Determined to not let fear overtake me, I returned to the lighthouse with a heavy heart. The days passed, and the sky began to darken once again, clouds rolling in like an ominous wave. Remembering old Keeper Tom's warning, I prepared the lighthouse for a storm, securing everything that could be battered by fierce winds and rain. That night, the storm hit with a vengeance, unlike anything I'd ever seen. Lightning illuminated the sky and thunder shook the very foundation of the lighthouse. I kept my vigil by the light, watching the angry sea churn below. At the height of the storm, I heard a knock at the door. Hesitant, I descended the stairs, the echoes of old Keeper Tom's whispers in my ears. Pulling open the heavy wooden door, I found a group of shipwrecked sailors, drenched and terrified. They had seen the light of the lighthouse and managed to make their way to safety. As I helped them inside, warming them with blankets and hot drinks, I realized the truth in the whispers. Old Keeper Tom had not only warned me, but had led these men to safety through his beacon. From that night on, I never doubted the tales of the coast. The lighthouse was more than a structure. It was a guardian, guided by the soul of a keeper who lost his life to the sea but never left his post. His whispers, once a source of terror, became a sign of vigilant protection, ensuring that Whitmore Point never claimed another life under my watch.